This is Seasons of Discontent with your hosts Rick Snyder and Matt Combs.
Welcome to Seasons of Discontent, Season 9, Episode 12, brought to you by Rick Snyder's Washington on social media. I'm Rick Snyder.
I'm Matt.
And we're back discussing all things Washington sports and life as part of the mighty Rick Snyder Empire. So just watch my videos somewhere. All right, we always start off the late week edition, picking games. So you don't have to wait till the end. I'm going Washington 27, New York Giants 23.
So you're our insider. What's the status of Daniel Jones?
Still waiting on.
Still waiting on. All right. If Jones plays, this game will be a lot closer than it will be if Tyrod Taylor plays. I'm going to go Washington 31, Giants 17.
All right, so we both think they can knock it. I don't know, the Giants games, unlike Philly games that go weird, Giants games are a little more predictable, I think. I think this is the feel-good game in a way. I mean, hey, if they, beating Atlanta was nice. Beating Arizona, nobody even remembers anymore like that. And in Denver, the NFL makes you forget stuff. But the Giants, remember these games a little more being a division. And I just think that you can kind of bury New York because they've had such a bad start. Give them another loss, get them out of the way, and at least try not to finish last in the division, no matter what happens here. And it's it's always a physical game up there, and it's going to be up at Giants. So I don't know. I just have a feeling that they get right on this one, and then we'll see what happens against Philly the following week. But
I watched a little bit of the Giants Buffalo game on Sunday night. Obviously that offense is completely inept, even with Saquon back. He's not completely healthy, and you can tell. Their defense though is legit. Their defense is pretty solid. I know they put a hurting on Allen, and I think they held Buffalo to like 17 points or something like that. So, their defense is pretty good. The only reason I put the caveat on it with Daniel Jones is because for some reason Daniel Jones turns into Sonny Jurgensen and Billy Kilmer rolled into one player against the Washington football team / Redskins ever since he's come in the league. I guess he's got a bone to pick with them because, he was slated to go to the Redskins and got picked by the Giants, but who knows? Yeah, I think like I said, I think it's a little closer if Jones plays, but this should be a win.
Boomer Esiason called Sam Howell Billy Kilmer. Which
Did he really?
I've been saying that for weeks. And people go, oh, Kilmer didn't run around. I was like, that's not the part I'm looking at. I'm looking where he got beat to death and still made a tough play on you and beat you. That's the essence of Billy Kilmer. Billy Kilmer was one of the fastest quarterbacks around, and he was in a bad car accident. Like that. And Sam's going to feel like he's in a car accident. I was reading the Washington Post story about players' recovery, and guys like Sam talked about, after home games, drive back over to the Commander's Park and get in the ice tubs and everything. I thought, really? You played a game on Sunday and you went for rehab after at the park? I mean, I know he's a boring guy, but I thought you'd go out and, I don't know, even Kirk Cousins Shake Shack after games. I mean,
but Sam doesn't eat beef. He's never had a cheeseburger. Let's not forget that.
They have chicken there. I have one.
He goes to Raising Cane's and gets a basket of chicken tenders and goes and sits in the cold tub.
I saw Raising Cane. I went my first time. I heard it was all chicken fingers, but really, you look at the menu. It's number one finger. Number two is 2 fingers. Number 3 is 3 fingers. Seriously?
And then the special is 3 chicken fingers on a bun to make it a chicken sandwich.
Yeah, I mean, it was fine, but I'm not exactly saying got to go back there. I mean, it's like In-N-Out burger.
The hype around Cane's is the cane sauce. The cane sauce is very delicious.
I didn't try it. Okay.
Yeah, see, there you go. You messed up. You got to dip your chicken fingers in this cane sauce. And they got crinkle cut French fries, Rick.
Yeah, now I got to go back. All right. Somebody asked me today, what's up with John Allen? I said, you haven't seen him a lot. He's got that plantar fasciitis in his foot since day one. Now, John Allen is not going to say anything about anything. He's one of the toughest guys in the room, and if they cut his foot off, he'd still play. But I think that's probably hampering him some.
I agree.
And then Rod Payne mentioned it. He had his finger dislocated They took it back over to the sideline, pulled it back, put it back in, and then said, go play. Whew, does that hurt, man? And big guy like Deron Payne, he and Allen, man, they could be hit by cars and wouldn't flinch. That was pretty wild.
Well, let's not forget Ronnie Lott cut off the tip of his finger on the sideline and went back to a game.
I mean, these guys they're so tough. It's unbelievable. When people criticize players about injuries, because I know these guys will play through pain if they can. And if they can't and they don't do the needle or whatever, they used to just do the needle, and these guys finally realized they were getting hooked on painkillers and had to stop. These guys are tough.
And we talked about it on Tuesday's show. That I don't know how Brian Robinson has not injured himself, because that kid is like a battering ram. That play against Atlanta, he took on 2 dudes and just completely drove them into the end zone like they were children. It was insane. I don't know how that guy is like getting into a car wreck. If you were to take a hit with that from him, you would definitely feel it the next day.
I really feel that such players who have such high impact have shorter careers, like LeVar Arrington and not Sean Taylor, but Landry.
Yes.
Landry. Both had shorter careers. They would knock the snot out of people. And
but then you have the flip side where you look at a guy like Derrick Henry. That dude's been bludgeoning people for 10 years and he's still good.
Yeah, I just feel like the energy when they hit somebody comes back on them. I mean,
you
remember, put Troy Aikman into retirement.
Yeah.
Ron Landry was a missile. When he and Sean Taylor played together, that was a fearsome duo. I mean, you had to worry about your well-being playing against them.
Mm-hmm. Ask Todd Pinkston.
But the guys like that, most of them don't last forever, because that's just too much car wrecks.
I'll never forget. Real quick story, because I know we got to go. We were at FedEx Field, I think it was FedEx, and they were playing the Eagles, and Sean Taylor and LaRon Landry were the safeties. Todd Pinkston went across the middle, saw LaRon Landry saw Sean Taylor, and all of a sudden his arms turned into the shortest alligator arms I've ever seen. And everybody's giving him crap and everything like that. And I said, that boy is smart for not catching that ball, because that might have been the end of his career.
Yeah, I mean, that was a great duo they had. And then LaRon became such a
gym rat.
Landry became such a weight room freak that they cut his mobility down and all, but he was so muscle bound.
Yeah, when he played in Indianapolis, he was too heavy.
Yeah, I mean, he went too far. That was kind of a weird thing too. One last thing about the Commanders, people have been asking me, what's going on with RFK? Here's what's happening. The House doesn't have a speaker for the past couple of weeks. That's number one. Number two, they had to spend a lot of time passing a funding bill. And when they come back from this delay, well, they got to catch up on funding bills, what they're going to do with Israel, all that stuff. I mean, and so a little stadium lease thing, that gets kicked down the road a bit. So this whole thing, nothing's happening because the House of Representatives is into such chaos. They can't do business as normal. So it's at least a couple months before they get around to looking at this thing again.
The one thing I'll say is Harris and Magic and Rails, they've had conversations with Muriel Bowser. Plans are in place. They just have to get the okay.
Right. But the House has been so delayed by its own, actions that's what's causing this. That's why you're not hearing about anything. All right. So World Series is going on soon. And then the teams aren't loaded yet, but it looks like Texas against Philly. And I like Texas, man. They took Baltimore apart. That's just a good, solid team. I guess I can forgive them for leaving Washington. I've hated on them in the World Series before, so I cursed them then. But if you forgive Bryce Harper, I'll forgive the Rangers.
I will not forgive Bryce Harper, but I will forgive Trey Turner. So I'm going with Philly. I think Philly is a juggernaut. I think Texas has just caught fire at the right time. And once again, it's the battle of ex-nationals, because let's not forget Scherzer was traded from the Mets to the Texas Rangers. So, hey, there's another former Nationals going at it in the World Series. Shocker.
All right, so I say the Rangers in 6.
I'll say Philly in 7.
All right, loser doesn't wear a shirt next show. All right, and the Caps. I don't know. The Caps had a bad day somehow and lost to the Pens in the opener, and then they came back and beat Calgary, but it was not a full house for the first time in like 16 years or something.
Yeah.
Although it was close, it was like, I don't know, 1,000 people short or something. And to me, I think them not being a full house, everything sold is great, because the average fan now can go buy a ticket. Somebody on Twitter was telling me that they got behind the goal for $40. which was normally 140. So, hey, if you always wanted to go see the Caps, maybe they're not winning as much, but if you want to go see it, it's a great experience.
Yeah, before the whole Crosby Ovechkin craze, when they were both at the bottom of the Eastern Conference every year, I used to be able to get tickets 10 rows up from the glass behind the goalie for $30 a pop. And that was, what, 15, 17 years ago, something like that.
Now, Ovechkin will break the record hopefully next year, I guess. What do you think tickets will cost the day he's up for that? For the winning,
as soon as he's 1 or 2 goals away,
yeah,
those tickets will be $500.
Wow. So I won't be there, but
because everybody will want the ticket stub. Everybody will want the ticket stub, and then they're going to put it with the cover of the Washington Post, talking about.
We don't have ticket stubs anymore, do we?
No, I guess not. Maybe they'll do like a commemorative one.
Yeah, I bet they do on that. Well, it's just like if U2 extends its Las Vegas thing out in that sphere, I'm going to go. It's $600 a ticket for the cheap ones, and you got to get them. They're supposed to say December 16th if they'll extend. You got to buy them then, or else you're paying $1,000. I'm not paying $1,000.
I've seen videos of that sphere, man. That thing is wild. I don't think I could do it. I think my motion sickness would kick in.
I mean, the inside, I saw some of people, putting videos up. It's like there's the desert around. I mean, it's like you're outside all of a sudden. But the outside of the sphere is even funnier because, like, they had a golf tournament and the sphere had like the yellow smiley face guy watching the ball and looking down at you. And I mean, it's like they say if you want to put your ad on the outside of the sphere, it's $500,000 for a day. I mean, in a city where you're just going wow as you drive down the street, it blows everything else away.
It does.
So if Rick's paying $600 for a ticket, this has got to be one of a lifetime deal. So I'd never do something like that. I'm not paying $500 to see Ovi. I'll just watch on TV.
There you go.
Good. So, and then the Wiz are starting up pretty soon, and yet I don't care. They got nobody on the team. It's going to be another 30-win season.
Rick, we're out of time.
Oh, there you go. All right. I didn't think we were, but okay.
That's my thought on the Wizards. We're out of time.
All right. Well, the Terps, by the way, did you notice that the Illinois kicker who beat him at the gun, I think he was number 83 and was this huge dude. And then you get to look it up. Was that guy a lineman?
Probably. He probably used to be.
I was like, 83? And this dude's like 6'5", 250. I thought, who is this guy? And he did hit the field goal and beat Maryland. So, all right. I just never seen a kicker with that number.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. All right. Well, I guess we'll be done for early for once. So, all right. Come back next week. We'll talk about more stuff, I guess.
There you go.
All right. I'm Rick Snyder.
I'm Matt.
Thanks for coming. See you soon.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to Seasons of Discontent with your hosts, Rick Snyder and Matt Combs.